If you didn't already know, the Copa America is South America's international football competition that occurs every now and then. The gap between tournaments seems to change. It was initially planned to be held in Argentina and Colombia, but it was controversially changed to Brazil at the last minute, who are the defending champions, might I add. Just like the Euros, it was planned for 2020 and delayed. But unlike UEFA, they're not trying to pretend it's still 2020 for some reason. So the tournament is known as the Copa America 2021. Sensible. And here are the stadiums. Starting off with Estadio do Maracana. It's one of the most accomplished football stadiums in the world, having hosted 2 World Cup finals. At one time, it was the largest stadium in the world as well, with a capacity of around 200,000. Imagine being there when it was full. It also hosted the 2016 Olympics opening and closing ceremonies, as you'll probably remember. The design itself isn't anything out of the ordinary. The exterior is one big, slightly elongated donut, and the interior is mostly made up of a huge seating bowl that curves its way around the field. I do like the flamboyant mosaic seats, and from some of those seats you can catch a glimpse of Rio's iconic landscape. In the old days, it was more than just a glimpse, it was the backdrop to the stadium. But the roof canopy blocks most of it. It also blocks the rain though, so I guess you gotta take the rough with the smooth. Unsurprisingly, this stadium will be hosting the final. Estadio Nilton Santos. I'm liking the look of the exterior a little more than the last one. There's just a bit more to it. Although the Maracana hosted the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2016 Olympics, this stadium, also located in Rio, hosted the track and field events. And as you'll see, the running track has remained. At least it's a nice blue track. The interior looks fantastic. I like that there are large gaps left between the roof and the stands, allowing air to flow naturally. Ideal for a tropical climate. And the seats are done up in Botafogo's colours, the club that plays here, and it makes a big difference. This is one of those stadiums where I don't mind there being a running track. It actually complements the overall look to the stadium. Estadio Nacional Mané Garrincha. This is a grandiose design if ever I've seen one, which I suppose is fitting given that the stadium is a white elephant. In fact, it's one of the world's greatest white elephants. There have even been poachers that have attempted to harvest its tusks in order to be used for traditional Chinese medicine. Anyway, enough nonsense. Despite the large capacity, no major club plays here, and so this beautiful stadium is kinda going to waste. But let's just talk about the stadium itself now. As I mentioned, it has a very grand exterior, made up of hundreds of pillars that are holding up the roof. It's not one of my favorite designs, but to think, this is what it used to look like. Yeah, it's definitely an upgrade. The interior consists of, I'd guess you'd say 4 tiers of seating, although the 2 middle ones are microscopic. It's a very good looking stadium on the inside, and you shouldn't have to worry about rain due to the very extensive roof canopy, unless you are one of the few seats left uncovered. A circular roof isn't exactly ideal, but I see why they did it. Arena Pantanal. This is one of my favorite stadiums in Brazil. It just looks unreal, and I mean that literally. It doesn't look real, like it's been designed by an animator or a game developer or something. You may have noticed something slightly odd about the roof canopies. The main supporting pillar is on the inside, and the roofs extend back out of the stadium. That leaves each of the corners of the field with these huge white pillars and a grassy area below. I quite like the way that looks. Other than that, you could say it's quite a simple stadium, with individual, fairly symmetrical stands on each side of the field. Once again, there are plenty of open areas of the stadium, allowing the air to flow. I like the colour of the seats as well. It's just an absolutely stunning stadium all round. Estadio Olímpico Pedro Ludovico. The land that this stadium occupies has been a football ground since 1941, but it was completely rebuilt not too long ago. What you see is what you get with this stadium. It's fairly straightforward. The main stand is covered with that huge swooping roof canopy, and from underneath you get a fairly decent panoramic view of Goiânia? Like the lizard? No. Goiânia? Not sure, but it seems like a nice place. And those were the 5 Copa America 2021 stadiums. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching, have a good one.